great preseason performance from the Bears in week 2, but now I'm going to get into my winners for this game. Now, obviously, you got to start off with Caleb Williams. He looked phenomenal. Played within structure, looked like Jared Goff, but showed the flashes of how good he could be out of structure too. The creativity he could play with, alongside, Ben Johnson's creativity with the scheming. I mean, guys were wide open. Zacchaeus with that nice 36-yard touchdown. Just a yak ability in him. And there's just guys all around on this team. There's playmakers all over this offense. It's about getting those guys open and then Caleb Williams hitting them on target quick and making quick decisions. And that's what he did. Caleb Williams had an 88.9 PFF grade overall, 4th best in the NFL among quarterbacks this week, 88.6 passing grade. And he had one big time throw, which was a nice, throw, I'm assuming, to Cole Kmet. 77.8 completion percentage for this game, so he looked more confident. This is like the closest we've seen to USC Caleb Williams mixed with Jared Goff. It was nasty. 2.6 average time per throw, getting the ball out quick, making decisions quick, something he struggled with last season, holding on to the ball too long, and with our left tackle issues, you want to get the ball out quick, and I think he showed that he could do that to a high level in the short drive he had. And the anticipation throw to DJ Moore, that was beautiful. Caleb operated Ben's design perfectly. 6 for 10, 107 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown. If Caleb Williams at the least is above average in this offense, he's going to put up better numbers than Jared Goff. The weapons in Chicago right now are better than they were in Detroit. I mean, Zacchaeus is even showing you he could give you at least 500 yards. Cole Kmet is a threat at tight end. Colston Loveland looks good. Luther Burden as your 4th best receiver is insane. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore as a playmaker. DeAndre Swift out the backfield. We haven't seen him too much this preseason. So Manungai could maybe even catch a couple passes out the backfield. So the weapons galore for this team, it's insane. He's going to put up big numbers this year as a passer. The offense was very crisp. I like the new helmet. That looked clean. The sock shit, who cares about the socks? Who cares if the socks were high enough? Caleb Williams is balling out. I've seen somebody on Twitter say, hey, I don't care. If Caleb Williams plays like that, I will pay every single fine he gets for his socks. And I agree. I will too. I'll contribute. Won't be a lot, but I'll contribute. So this first drive that Caleb Williams had was the best we've seen him ever play. The best drive by Caleb Williams. Ironically, this Bears team didn't score in the first series at all last season, and they did it in their first series with all the starters for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams in this era. Another thing I like, no delay of game, no pre-snap penalties. It was just crisp, great. That's another thing to be excited about. So this Bears offense, dream performance for them, everything you wanted to see, and Caleb Williams delivered. All the talk too, Dan Orlowski, Colin Cowherd, these guys are changing their tune. Everybody's like, oh, maybe Caleb Williams is a dark horse MVP candidate now, instead of being the guy with the most to prove in 2025. Another winner I had was Olamide Zacchaeus. I think he could be a huge playmaker in this offense. Him as your 3rd best receiver, I think he's sliding in as a slot guy, and the yak ability in him, the ability to separate. He's catching everything. He's scoring 40-plus touchdowns in every practice, it seems like. In the joint practices, he's going off. So Caleb Williams is finding him. Caleb Williams has a lot of trust in him. And this is somebody last season put up 500 yards with Jaden Daniels, one of Jaden Daniels' best weapons. 2nd at best, 3rd, at the very least, best weapon last year with the Commanders' offense. He's a very dangerous weapon. He was 13 last season in yards after the catch, and I think he could be top 5, top 10 this season with how Ben Johnson's getting these guys open. And the Bears got him for the vet minimum, which is crazy as hell. He's quick, he's reliable, great hands, always open, so I expect big things from Zacchaeus. And like I said, vet minimum to get receiver 3, elite production, crazy. So I expect a big year from Zacchaeus. At the very least, he's going to put up 500 yards in this offense, and at the very highest, maybe 800, 700 yards. That would be huge. That would be just as much production we got from Keenan Allen, with us getting, potentially DJ Moore and Roma Dunze being 2 1,000-yard receivers. So I'm excited. His impact in this offense is going to be huge. Regardless if it's Luther Burden or him at wide receiver 3, the Bears will get great production out of that role. Ian Wheeler, I thought he did a great job. Manungai was banged up. This running back room is, banged up. A lot of guys are missing time. We had to sign somebody just to, have somebody, get a couple carries in this preseason game. But Ian Wheeler, 19 carries, 80 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He made the most of his opportunity. This is somebody that's coming off an ACL injury, and, he looks good. He's healthy. He's fast. This is somebody I hope makes the roster, but I think he'll be a practice squad guy. And just the story he has is a phenomenal story. He's deserving of, having some kind of role on this team, with, Devin Duvernay being banged up. Maybe he could get into that kick return role, get opportunity there, but some way possible. This guy's, I would want him to be on this roster. As our RB4, we haven't seen Travis Homer do anything. We could have field 5 running backs, Travis Homer being a special teams guy, but Ian Wheeler, I trust him to go out there. I trust him to get yardage. I trust him to be a playmaker in some capacity, and I like his traits. I like what he has. Great character guy. This is one of Ryan Poles' guys, too, so let him make the roster. If he has another big game like this, get him out there. But Monangai, I would want to see him in next preseason's game if he's healthy and he's good to go. I think he will be because he's just banged up in practice, banged up for the joint practices, so Ian Wheeler could be a weapon for us offensively and just be somebody that gets a couple carries within the season. And if we get guys banged up, he's somebody that could slide in and fill in pretty well. Luther Burden, he's going to be dangerous. As our receiver 4, it's crazy that's where he is right now. It's crazy that's the role he is and how good he is. 3 catches, 49 yards. He showed the ability to, juke somebody out their socks, showed the yak ability, showed the speed. Ocho Cinco, a lot of people, all these guys that, talk within, media and sports, speaking to his praise. This is somebody that's bought in. He had 2 really good blocks. This is how you build that trust within your team. This is how you show your teammates, I'm ready to lay it on the line for you. So Luther Burden, I love what I've seen from him so far. He's getting better and better. Joint practices, in practice, he's been a standout. He's making plays, and he's, getting more accustomed to this offense. So yeah, he's going to be a phenomenal playmaker. This season, I don't expect the production to be crazy for him, but after that, in year 2, he could be an 1,000-yard receiver. I think he could be really dangerous in the offense the more experience he gets. Has all the traits. He's a smooth route runner, crazy playmaking ability. Greg Olsen was saying, he talked to Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles probably shouldn't have said this, but he said Luther Burden could be better than Rome and DJ Moore. We all know that's true. He has the ability to do that. People are saying he could be the St. Brown of this Bears offense in the future. So the upside is crazy high with Luther Burden, and I'm excited to see what he can do this season for us as a rookie. The last biggest winner has to be Austin Booker. I know he got banged up with a knee injury on special teams. Hopefully it's not severe. We're waiting for the update on that. But he's dominated. He's led the NFL in sacks in the preseason so far. 3 sacks in the first half last game. Couple TFLs. A couple quarterback hits this week. 1 sack, a quarterback hit, a TFL, and 2 tackles. The spin move looks great. He has a lot of moves he could use to beat these tackles. The speed. He's been great against the run as well. Not just, rushing the passer. So he's making his presence felt. He's showing he could be at the very least a rotational guy. If this production could carry over into the regular season, if he could be somebody that gives you 4, gives you 5, 6 sacks, that's huge for this Bears defense, especially Dio's ramping up. We're hearing good things about Dio. He's making plays. He's getting sacks in the practices and the joint practices. So if you could get like 5 sacks from Booker this year, that's a huge second-year jump. And he's looking like he's putting it all together. With the coaching staff now with the Bears, new defensive line coach, with Dennis Allen, if he could be somebody that could get home and he could be like a 3rd down pass rush situation kind of guy, Dio at defensive tackle, Dexter at defensive tackle, Montez Sweat, whoo! That gives me chills. That's a defensive line that's going to strike fear into the offense. It's great that Austin Booker is putting it together. He's looking like he's finally getting it. I understand it now, meme. It's fantastic. He could be one of the Bears' most improved players this season, so I'm excited for his continuous growth. Now for the losers, the left tackle position. This is what we're going to talk about. Braxton Jones, he looks like he's a favorite to win the left tackle position. Coaching staff for the Bears is saying he's looking more like his old self, but still getting beat inside. Back-to-back weeks now. Still having those plays where it's just like, oh, watch Braxton Jones on this play. It's bad. He sticks out like a sore thumb. So I'm not confident with him being the left tackle. I think he looks like a shell of himself. He doesn't look like the player that was, a high quality, above average starter for the Bears for the last couple seasons at that position. If he could be healthy, at the very least, you could get by with him. Because in previous seasons, he was our best offensive lineman, not our worst. So it's nice that the interior is good. Had Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent held onto the ball long, they would have probably been barbecue chicken. So hopefully he gets better, but I think right now he's probably going to be the starting left tackle. Theo Benedict, I like what he's provided. Pre-snap penalties from him, false starts and stuff. But the Canadian Eagle, this is somebody, hard knock story, great story with him. Undrafted free agent, but he's been looking like the best left tackle in camp. Played 39 snaps with the twos, had an 81.7 overall PFF grade, 69.7 pass block grade, and an 85.8 run block grade. So he's held up his own. He's, looked good. He has the traits of a solid tackle. It's just, him being a UDFA, there's question marks with that. Is it really best case scenario if your UDF undrafted free agent is your starting left tackle and your best option? But if he's been the best option, throw him out there. If Ben Johnson has trust in him, if that's who Ben Johnson thinks gives us the best opportunity to win games, throw him out there. I trust Ben Johnson. So I think so far he's looked the best at the left tackle position. Braxton Jones, just with the experience, with him ramping things up, with starting somebody at left tackle week 1, I think you probably go Braxton Jones. Kyron Amegachi, unfortunately, he was playing into the fourth quarter, deep into the fourth quarter. He was playing with the threes. He's healthy now after, getting banged up. I don't know why we're not putting him at guard. There's a little lack of depth at the guard positions. Jonah Jackson's been banged up a lot. Why not at guard, where I think he could thrive? He's a pretty solid run blocker. As a pass protector, it's not the greatest. We've seen, a couple clips that look really bad, but as a run blocker, there's solid upside there. In the interior, he has a nice frame. I think he could be a solid guard for us, at the very least a backup guard. I don't know why we're not trying that out at least, but right now he could be somebody that's on the outside bubble and somebody that could potentially be cut. So preseason week 2, there's more winners than there are losers. Great thing. Thought this offense looked great. I'm excited to see some of these guys continue to ball out and show out. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.